All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Indie Inquiries, where each week we review indie game store pages and provide marketing advice and critiques to help developers best sell their games. I am Josh Bycer from Game Wisdom, and joining me, my co-host from Nexus Games, soon to be a new title, Sharky.
Hello, everybody. Yep, still setting the new name.
All right.
It seems like the infinite loop.
So let's get to our next game. This is Firegirl. And let's begin with the title card. Well, my allergies are just really bothering me as well.
Yeah. So the title card. I mean, this font is fire. Let's be honest. This font they got for the title, that's fire. Both figuratively and literally. It's fire.
Yep, and I like how the actual fire trails within the letters themselves. So it's not just like a generic, here's some fire orange that just covers the entire font.
Yep, it's flickering off like real flames would.
Yeah.
And also they have the ash gray looking outline around it where, like the wood or whatever that they set on fire has burnt and decayed.
Yeah, and
really love that font. That font is amazing.
Yeah,
they could not have gone better with that. That is A plus for that part of that.
It's very eye-catching as well. Like, we compare and contrast this with Loopmancer. For those of you watching this recorded, go watch that part. This is just a very generic thumbnail. There's just nothing to it that's going to catch your eye. Whereas Firegirl right here, like your eye, if you're scrolling down on the store page, it's immediately going to hook you with this font.
And the color. And color has a lot to do with hooking your eye.
Yeah. Now, with that said, the bottom part of this thumbnail is not as good. Everything just kind of blurs together.
I think the buildings themselves look good. But they're copy and pasted with no modification. Like this building is the exact same as this building. They could have easily just spent 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and cut out some of these lights and then put in some other lights. And mind you, this is pixel art, so they could have. There's only a few buildings here, so they could have done that in 5-10 minutes worth of work. They could have made every one of these buildings different, just slightly. They could have also added a little pixel art smokestack to some of these and
just
made them look different.
Something to remove that monotony of that skyline.
And they could also do different heights. I mean, they did slightly different heights here, but it's so meaningless. You don't even notice that it's a different height. They all look identical. You have to really look hard and be like, yeah, this line does not line up perfectly with that. There's another half floor on this one.
Yeah, and they're missing in the opportunity in terms of the structure as well. Because the bottom is not really guiding your eyes to the top. If you look at these flames that are along the bottom of the screen, they're not, it would have been interesting if they could all be kind of pointing in a way towards the title card. To the title. They're kind of doing it over
majority
here.
Of them.
Well, they could have done it on the right-hand side as well.
Yeah, you really want this, a triangle effect to point towards your title, and this does not have any kind of structure like that.
Yeah.
You could do the same thing with the buildings. I mean, they could have, instead of putting, buildings all at the same level here, they could have built a triangle out of buildings. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
where, there's the highest point in the middle, lowest on the outsides, and it would have looked more like a city, to be honest, that way too. That you have this variation on the sky silhouette of your city kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have that. It just it's good art, but there's no variation. There's no structure here. It just it comes off as a cheap copy and paste job, and it's just not structure wise there.
With that said, the look of it though does stand out. Again,
Yeah,
the role of your title card, or the role of your thumbnail, is to get eyes on it. And this one succeeds in that front. Whereas Lootmancer, while it looks genuinely good, like it looks like something very interesting, it's not distinctive enough. It's not getting people to click on it. And this one I think would. So
also the black smoke behind the Firegirl, at least the top half of it, top 3/4, really makes the Firegirl font stand out even more. So like the issues I see here is the genericness of the city, because they didn't put any variation, and the lack of structure.
Yeah.
But I think every other part of this thumbnail is on point.
Yeah. So the grade, like, despite our praise, it doesn't do enough, I think, to get into the A range. I don't feel like it does enough wrong to get into the C range.
No, this is definitely B range.
Yeah. It just depends where. And
I'm going to say B minus.
I will go higher and say just solid B. I think B plus is just too high for it.
Yeah. If they did some simple changes, like made some variations in these real variations in these buildings, and reshape the skyline here,
easy B plus A minus possibly.
And if they added some structure in the process of that, this would have been an easy A.
Yeah. So,
but they didn't, and they could have with 10 more minutes worth of work.
Yep.
And that's really sad.
Are you ready for the trailer?
Yes, as long as Steam is ready.
Okay.
It's not ready. Okay.
All right, 3, 2.
I am ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1. They have a kind of a cold opening, very slightly. I like the picture-in-picture.
I wouldn't say that's a cold opening, but
it's better than the last one, at least.
Yeah.
I really like the transitions that they do.
Yeah, there's really good transitions. I noticed in some of the art does not, like the items and the characters do not really match the background, even though all of it is pixel art.
Yeah.
Mainly, I think, because of lighting.
Yeah. I think it does have an interesting look to it.
Oh yeah, it definitely has an interesting look to it, but it just doesn't. It has that mismatch kind of thing to it, aspect to it.
Yeah.
Which I think is really going to hurt it.
Yeah.
By how much, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it does look good in both parts.
Yeah. The style reminds me a little bit of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I do like the establishing shot at the end for the call to action.
Yeah. And the call to action says that it's Wishlist on Steam, coming to PC and consoles. Well, where else is it coming to? Which consoles?
Could be to all of them. We just don't know.
It could be just PlayStation. Could be just Switch. It could be anything. That's not good. You need to tell us where it's going to exactly. Because if you don't, then we don't know where to look for it.
Yeah.
Other than consoles. I mean, they did tell us it's on Steam at least. So that's good points for them on that call to action. But they should have told us specific on other places too. They also said PC. So that means places other than Steam. But which places other than
GOG,
Steam?
Humble, Epic, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
The game was this. This one has the Epic Mega Grant, so I'm going to guess it's going to be on Epic.
Probably.
And so, what they're showing, I think, is good. There's a lot of things that kind of eye catching. It's showing off the gameplay, but there's still no structure to this. We're getting some frame in terms of upgrade, rescue, be the hero, but that's more gameplay structure, not trailer structure. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, trailer structure, you need a cold opening followed by intro, which is going to be slower. Your call to action is going to be action-packed or funny. And then you have a building in the middle, and then you have a climax at the end. And there was no climax, there was no build, there was no intro. It was just quips, almost randomly placed inside here. Now they were all good quips that would have been good to, mix around and get some structure. There wasn't no climax in there at all. Anything that could be used for climax. There was no boss fights or anything like that. There's also nothing to use for a code opening because, again, there was no boss fights or anything like super exciting in there.
Yeah,
but they could have arranged things to get far better structure out of this.
I would have liked to have seen, like, if they don't have like a action pack finale, maybe just like a post call action stinger of something funny, or something like a little like off the wall, something to just like tie a ribbon around this whole thing.
Yeah,
and I just don't see it like here with that.
But like they should have had something to do for a climax, like
something.
Like, even if there's not a boss fight, a fire gets out of control and a building just completely explodes. That would have been a great climax.
Yeah.
And then you could, even do a stinger like after that, of people crying that they lost everything kind of thing. So there's a lot of things they could have done.
Yeah. So
but they didn't.
The grade, and I don't know, like it's definitely better than Lootmancer. Like this certainly conveys what this game is going to be.
Yeah.
So the question, like to me, is where does it fall? Like it's definitely not A range. Absolutely not.
No.
I feel like,
and it's not D range either.
Yeah,
it's. I think it's in that border of B and C.
Yeah, it just depends on where.
I definitely don't think it's a low C or a high B.
Yeah,
it's somewhere in that borderline. I mean, the main problem is there's no structure and no climax or code opening because of that, and that's the most important parts of the trailer.
It certainly has style. It has great transitions, the use of the music.
Yeah, so, like, the editing overall of each clip was solid.
Yep.
They were just random in kind of their placement of the clips. So, hence causing the structure issues.
Yeah. I mean, we could really go either way. I think C plus B minus.
I think I'm gonna go B minus.
All right. I guess I'll average it out and go C plus then.
All right.
Yeah. Again, it's not bad, but it's just not. It's not doing enough things wrong to give it a bad grade, but it's not doing enough to kind of wow us into giving it a higher one.
Yeah, it's barely above average.
Yeah.
C is average. It takes a lot to get above a C, and it takes a lot to get below a C, and then it takes even more to get even farther beyond than that.
Yeah.
So like it's so hard to get an F or an A.
So with that said, let's get to these screenshots, and some of these screenshots are, I believe, original, but they're still in the same exact environments as what's been shown in the trailer.
A lot of them are definitely duplicates.
Yeah.
And you don't want to show off the same content twice. But the ones that aren't duplicates, as far as we can tell, I mean, they may be duplicates and we just don't know it. But the ones that, we're assuming are original, the fact is they look the same as everything else, so they don't look original. So like, a first impression would be none of them are original.
Yeah, and as a kind of a nitpick from me, when you're kind of organizing your screenshots, try to make it so the character is not in the exact same position when you're going from one screenshot to the next. Like if you look at number 9 and number 10. She's just like perfectly in that spot. Like if you would like just move these around just a little bit, because it always looks very weird when indie developers do that. And like some of the lesser games we've seen is just literally the character standing in the exact same spot for 8 different screenshots.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to game development and, you know, centering the character, centering the camera on the player. So, like, but well, some games have, like, a, you know, kind of a rubber band that it'll, you know, let you go outside of that range, and then the camera will kind of rubber band back to you. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yep. Sonic did that to where, you know, they would let you go forward in the camera kind of thing, which had the ill effect of you wasn't able to see that far ahead of you and react. But, you know, it definitely gave you that feel of incredible speed.
Just like show the character, just like keep an eye on like what the character is, like their position from screenshot to screenshot. Because you could have just literally moved like number 10 to number 7, and that would have solved this issue for me.
Yeah.
So the screenshots themselves, the problem with this is that while they're certainly good screenshots, the majority of them were in the trailer. Now, number 8 was definitely not in the trailer because they didn't show this dog. But they did show something similar, you running in and rescuing someone. So, for the grade of this one, the thing is with the images that it's very easy to get really poor or really good grades for this section.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to have to. The screenshot grade definitely has a tendency to swing one way or the other very, very easily.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a D-.
I'll go with a solid D for it. Because it's showing good things, it's just showing good things that were already shown before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's not hard to fix this.
Yeah, just take screenshots on different parts of your game, you know?
Yep. So, let's get to the title card.
You mean about this game?
Or, about this game. So we have... I like this... the emblem here that they use, the hack and slash rescue. Like, I feel like that could have been shown on the title card. Was it shown at the end of the trailer? Let me see. Yeah, it was shown there. Like, I feel like that could have been a nice thing to fit on the title card somehow.
On the title card?
Or on the thumbnail. So I'm confusing title and thumbnail because they're both very similar in name. But yeah, like, I would have liked this to be shown more. Because I think it's a really stylistic element to it that we don't see on other games.
Yeah. The issue is I think it's just way too big of an image.
Yeah. So,
what I would like to see is like a smaller version of this hack and splash, you know, emblem on one side or both sides of the font, and then just cut it down to the size of the font.
Yeah. So the About This Game page, I mean, it's showing off GIFs, it has structure to it, but it's still not showing new things. Maybe we could maybe count, you know, the little GIF of the people reacting over here.
Yeah, but that's not really adding anything.
Yeah. And it has that same problem as Loopmancer. You're telling me it's procedurally generated, but I'm not seeing that. Yep. Show me like a picture-in-picture. Show me like images, like, you know, a before and after, or, you know, loop 1 versus loop 2. Yes. Just show me something to convey that there's a difference.
Yeah, and right now it's just, you know, here's you jumping with a fire hose. I mean, you know, if the title of this said fire hose jumping, then this would be a great GIF for that. You know what I mean?
And like to rebuild the firehouse, like it's a really nice establishing shot as you're moving from like 3 rooms around. But
yeah, and it's showing the firehouse, but it's not showing you rebuilding it.
Yeah. And they showed a scene in the trailer of the firehouse getting updated. And like that or something similar to that in GIF form would have worked there.
Yep.
It
But
is.
you again don't want to repeat
Yeah.
unless you have to. Which
Yeah.
that might be one that we'd accept as a have to.
Yeah, the 35-second mark in the trailer when they show it kind of, decrepit, and then it's now fixed.
35, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing about this one is that it's telling me about this game, but I'm still not
It's
seeing
not
anything
showing.
new. Yeah. And
It's not
like,
showing. It's not doing anything new.
it's better than Loopmancer, definitely.
Yeah.
But grade wise, it just feels just perfectly average to me.
Yeah, it feels average. Like we've looked at pages that were that we've given a C that had no gifs or anything. They looked like worse pages,
So they had better
but they
structure.
weren't. They
Yeah.
were. They had better structure. They had better details. They,
Mm-hmm.
everything was put together good over there. They just didn't have any cosmetically good things. This one has the cosmetically good things, but all the cosmetically good things basically falls on deaf ears.
I
And
would
there's a
have,
lack of, the structure is not as good as those that were.
yeah, I would have liked to have seen a GIF or like enemy designs. Like, show me like
Are there
different.
enemies?
Yeah, like in the opening of the trailer, they show like this like sentient fire moving around. So like, I would like to see more
Where at?
at right at the beginning. You see like this fire running around or like hitting something and then exploding. Yeah, so there are quote unquote enemies in this game. Show me that.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. And that tells you that the trailer's not doing a good job. The store page is not doing a good job because I didn't even realize that myself.
Yeah. So grade wise, I think to me this is the it's not bad C that it gets from me.
Everything is not bad though, no matter what grade you give it.
Yeah.
The F's not bad.
Yeah. It
The
gets
A
the
is not bad.
gentleman C. Like it's there. It's
Yeah.
okay, but it's not horrible, but it's not amazing.
Yeah. If from first impressions, like if I were to look at this and not look at it in detail, I would say this was probably a B or A kind of page. But like, yeah, it is a C. Yeah,
Yep.
it looks like it would be better because it's got all the gifs and whatnot.
Yeah. But
But it's not.
let's take a look at this title card because yeah, we got some problems here.
Oh yeah,
So we
lots
have
of problems here.
one tag, and
Yep. At
it's a
least
good
it's
tag.
a meaningful tag.
But again, single player, indie, a platformer, maybe 2D. You
I
are
don't think
leaving.
2D would appear on here.
I think I saw it.
I don't. You may have seen it, but I don't think it actually appears on here.
Yeah. But you are leaving a lot of, meat on the table or meat on the bone here in terms of not having these additional genre tags.
Mm-hmm.
So we checked out the website. Again, it's just okay. And there is a link to the Twitter, but there's no Twitter listed here, and that's a huge red flag.
Yeah, and it wouldn't matter if they didn't have a Twitter or if they do have a Twitter, because according to their Steam page, they do not have a Twitter
or
and
Discord.
That's what matters. Yep, or Discord. And you have to have some kind of social media, and you have to have a Discord server, and you have to have them both in your title card.
Yep.
Otherwise, you don't have them.
Yep. Because people aren't going to want to hunt around to get in touch with you. I had to do that to find the developers of Monolith. And, Monolith is a good example of a game that is amazing to play, but a very lackluster store page. And that's not what you want. And, with this one, they do have a press kit on the website, but unless you are really going to look into this game, you're not going to find it. Because you want this information to be as easy to access as possible.
Yeah, because if it's not easy,
most people aren't going to do it.
Most people are not going to access it.
Yep.
Because we live in a culture now where easy is king.
Mm-hmm.
And if your stuff isn't easy if you're not promoting yourself easily for them to easily, follow you, then you're not doing a good job.
Yep. So there's not a lot to say about this, which also really impacts the grade.
Yeah, there's nothing here but one tag, pretty much.
Yep, and the one tag is good, but it's not enough to, bump this up to a high grade.
Yeah, this is an easy F.
Yep.
And I would say it's a solid F. It's not an F minus, not an F plus.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that is saving it from being an F minus is the fact that it's an action tag.
Yep.
If they had single player in indie instead of action, F minus.
Yep. If it had everything, maybe D plus.
No, if it had all three, if it had single player and multiplayer, or single player and indie on here, that would still not be a D. I think that would be an F plus, D minus.
Yeah, I think it would at least bump up into the D range. But again, it's missing the other half of this. It needs Twitter. It needs contact information.
Or some other kind of platform like Facebook or Instagram or
Twitch, whatever.
OnlyFans or Only Sharks.
So let's get to the overall grade. So the highest grade that we gave this, I think for both of us, would have been the thumbnail. The trailer, I gave it a C.
The trailer's a core grade. So the trailer I gave it a B minus. You gave it a C plus. The thumbnail for me was a B minus, so that's just going to hold it. And the thumbnail for you is a B, so that's going to raise yours.
But then the screenshots, we gave that a D.
I gave it a D minus, you gave it a D, so it's definitely going lower for both of us.
Yeah.
The About This Game page we both gave a C, which is going lower for both of us. The title card also we both gave it an F, so it's going lower for both of us. So the only thing that's raising here is the thumbnail, but that's only for Josh's side because my thumbnail just holds it where I have it.
So for me, I think the page overall is going to dip.
It's definitely going to dip because everything on my side holds or goes down. On your side, the thumbnail brings it up, but everything else brings it down.
So I think for me, overall, I give it a C plus as a trailer. I'm thinking C. I'm thinking C minus C, in that middle point for me.
Yeah, it brings yours down by 2. I'm going down by 2 as well, from a B minus to a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we both brought it down by 2.
Yeah. I feel
it's sad because the trailer. Well, luckily for them, the trailer is their best part of this because the trailer is the most important part.
Yeah. I feel again, it's right on that line of C minus C for me. With a lot of this, it wouldn't take, I think, a lot for the store page to get bumped up in terms of its grades.
Yeah.
But I think with that, we are over our hour for sure for this one. So I think we can begin to wrap things up. Anything else you want to say about Firegirl?
Nope, that's it.
Yeah. Again, 2 very interesting games this week that we thought would score higher at first glance, but we just found, again, one issue after another after another.
Yep. One issue begat another issue. And that's what you often see is, this chain kind of leading between them, because either their knowledge on marketing is good and they're going to do good on most things, or, it's bad and they're going to do bad on most things, or it's average and they're going to do average on everything, and
either keeps going up or keeps going down.
Yeah. Rarely do you see a vast change between scores But sometimes you see that because sometimes they outsource stuff, They outsource, one part of it, and like they outsource a trailer, and their trailer grade may be very, very different than everything else.
Yeah. But again, if you want us to take a look at your store page, get in touch. We'll see if you can get that magical A+, because I don't think we've given a store page an overall A+ yet.
I think we might have given one store page an A+.
Yeah.
I think we gave one an A+, mm-hmm. 2 regular A's.
Lots of B's.
I think we've given 3 an A-,
mm-hmm.
or maybe 4. We've given, I don't know, probably a few hundred B+.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a few hundred. Probably like, I don't know, 40. Mm-hmm. 40 B+. We probably gave like 50, 60 B's.
Yeah. But yeah, who will join in the Hall of A's? Oh, excuse me. Thank you. And who will help me with my allergies?
If you enjoyed the show, definitely be sure to click the smash button and smash the like button on both Josh's channel and my channel. It's a dual stream. Mm-hmm. So links to both Josh's and I's YouTube channels, Josh's and I Discord, mm-hmm. and all other kinds of stuff is down in the description. So make sure you go down there and check that out, and mm-hmm. Subscribe to both of us.
And again, if you want to submit a show or submit a game for a future show, please reach out. Again, we're on Twitter, send a message, send it to us on Discord, whatever. We're always looking for submissions. If you want to catch these shows live, we do them Mondays at 4 ET. And if you want to catch our game design show, the Safely Extreme Podcast, those are Sundays at 4 ET as well. So, I think that's going to do it. With everything said, come back for daily discussions on game design here and on Game Wisdom, where some of the art and science of games. And until next time, take care.
See ya.